Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, so it's a pretty good day because I actually ended up getting a new truck, or I guess new to me. It's a used F-150. Um, so it's a 2015 F-150 Lariat. So super nice truck, and you might be noticing why I already have it up. So before I really get into the truck, I'm actually going to be already modifying it. So I've already had this truck now for 3-4 months, and it's just too quiet for me. So let's do a quick little sound check what stock exhaust sounds like on this truck. So it is dead nut silent. Go ahead and shut that off so the exhaust doesn't get too hot, because I am going to be working on it right now. So it is a 3.5 EcoBoost, so it's got a ton of, I wouldn't say horsepower, but a lot of torque. This little engine actually surprised me because it's almost like a little bit of a perfect daily driver scenario. So it's not a super huge gas hog. It's not that crazy of an engine, but they do sound pretty good when you do at least a little bit of exhaust work to them. I'm not a huge fan of that V6 sound, so I'm hoping I didn't go overboard with this, but this exhaust kind of did fall in my lap a little bit, and it was too good of a price not to. So the exhaust I went with is this is a Corsa exhaust, so dual tip. I believe this is the Corsa Extreme, but it did come with a little bit of challenges. So this was actually made for a 4-door short bed. I have the 4-door 6.5 foot bed, so it's slightly longer. It's only about a foot. You can see it between the cab and the wheel arch, so the wheels are slightly further back. So I did have to just go to my local Vato zone and just get a piece of pipe. Luckily this is a slip fit style exhaust between the resonator and the exhaust, so I don't have to cut the exhaust. That's actually a huge pet peeve of mine, is any kind of exhaust work or modifications where I got to cut the truck up and pretty much make it impossible to go back to stock, or ruin a very expensive exhaust. So I did not pay full price for this. I don't even think I paid half price for this exhaust. Those who know how much this exhaust costs, you know it's very expensive. So I did not want to butcher it up. I'd much rather make an adapter piece to fit my truck than cutting up my stock exhaust or welding an extension onto this. So that was the whole reason why I got this extension piece, to make it easier for me in case I ever want to remove it and sell it. I can kind of sell it to a bigger crowd. And then also my stock exhaust, I'm gonna try and remove it without cutting it. Everyone I've seen removes their exhaust, they have to cut it, so I'm hoping I don't have to do that, because again, I just don't want to butcher my truck up. It's just way too nice of a truck to really butcher up like that. So I'd rather keep the stock parts in case I don't like the exhaust. I can just throw my stock exhaust back on and maybe just do like a resonator delete. But all right, further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and install this exhaust and then show you how it looks once it's done. Okay, so after a short fight, actually it wasn't too terrible of a job to remove. I did try to attempt to remove this, but I cannot see that on top, so good luck ever spinning this and removing it out of that lock. But it actually does come out all in one piece, which is really good. So here's the exact difference. So it is 2.5, so it's right here, it's matched up 2.5, and then it goes up at the muffler up to 3-inch, so it's going to be a 3-inch muffler back. Exhaust, there's your size comparison on the two mufflers. I know this is definitely going to be so much louder. I'm almost kind of debating whether just to go back and put the stock exhaust, but it's already out. This thing was rusty and crusty as fuck. But so the next step of action that I got to do is, so here you kind of see my extension piece that I had to get. You know, it's nothing special, just your Vato Zone special. So I will have to trim this guy up. I'm gonna try and align these two exhausts up best I can, and kind of measure out from the stock one with the aftermarket one, so I could get this exact length, trim it, and then I'll have my extension piece. So should be no change of flow, since it's literally just straight 2.5, so it'll just be an extra foot from my guess. So now I'll cut this, install it, and then I'll show you guys how it sounds. Ooh, okay, so there it is. So she's all installed now. I did kind of pull a bozo move and I freaking dropped it, which kind of gacked the edge there. But actually wasn't very difficult of an install. It actually went in super easy, super quick. All the factory hangers. There's the extension pipe with the O'Reilly special band clamp, and then made it to the factory white pipe. So everything tucked in nicely, fits perfect. No rubbing, I hope. I did my best to really get her aligned. I liked how it doesn't stick out too far, but it actually does look really nice. See, this truck is just too big, and definitely the dual exhaust tips help, you know, with the looks department. So further ado, let's see how she sounds. So, ooh. It's actually very quiet, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. A very nice, just deep tone, mellow exhaust note, nothing crazy. And you do get a little bit of turbo whistle out of it, but it's nothing crazy. It's just enough for me to like tell that the truck is even on. Oh man, I was low-key thinking that this thing was just going to be like the neighbor pisser off for 3,000, but it's not. It's actually very quiet. So let me see if I can set up my phone so I can get a quick little exhaust clip for y'all. Alrighty. Well, there you go. Actually, very excited about this one. So not too loud, not super annoying, just enough. Because, I mean, again, I'm not 18 anymore. So I just wanted something mellow, at least so I could tell that the exhaust was even on, or the truck was even on, and didn't even cost me that much. So I'm actually super excited about this one. I'm gonna actually show you guys everything else I did get in the deal. Again, I have spent less than $1,000 on mods on this truck, and I think I already have like the full package deal for everything that I could want to be done to this truck. So here, let me pull some of the more of the parts out the truck, and I'll kind of lay them out and show you what I got. Okay, so again, I have spent less than $1,000. Most of this stuff I got in a package deal, so I'm actually not going to be using all of it. So I did get a Turbo Smart wastegate. Honestly, that's cool and all. I don't think that's really my style. So I'm probably not going to be running this. This catch can, again, it's a cheaper oil catch can, but it's kind of cool. It's got a little dipstick. So if you want to check it, you know, go see if it's full, if it's empty. And then just your run-of-the-mill cold air intake for it. So this is what I got in a package deal with the exhaust. And then this is some other parts I have kind of been acquiring because my truck has an aftermarket front grille on it. Oh, pardon me, I got a metal sliver in my finger. It does have a aftermarket grill. It looks pretty good, but I'm actually going to be going back to a stock Lariat grill, you know, just nice factory OEM grill, and then OEM headlights. So for those eagle eye viewers, these are actually off of 2018, so 2018 to 21, I believe, or 2020. So I will be doing the front end facelift conversion on the truck, so I am still looking for a 2018 front bumper. So the headlights, these headlights are a lot bigger. They even came with LED lights in them already, which is pretty awesome. Even though I already have aftermarket LED headlights and fog lights for these. So I may or may not still install them. I'll see how they look. But let me show you why I want to swap out the light bar grill. So I mean, it's bright, but it is starting to chip. You know, it's seen its better days. And of course, the other catch can I will not be running it because I already have a JLT on mine. This was actually the very first thing I bought it shortly after I got the truck. Like first week I went out, found it on Facebook Marketplace. I was just gonna order one, but they don't ship to California, so it's very annoying. So sometimes I do have to source some parts used. But I did get lucky because it was a brand new one. The guy had used it for a month and then traded the truck in. So I got it for a steal. I think it was like 50 bucks. And I think brand new they're like 180, 100, almost 200 bucks. So got it for a steal. So the next mod I will be doing is the cold air intake. I do hear that there is a little bit of benefit to the cold air intake, that you might get slightly better MPGs to it. I'm not looking for power. It's just a basic run-of-the-mill cold air, nothing fancy. So I have been logging my miles in the truck, driving it as nicely as I can, especially with this trip to go get parts. I did drive 2 hours there and about 2 hours back, mixed driving and stuck in traffic. So I think I got the best case scenario that I can for my truck, driving it as nicely as I can, using cruise control, being in like the middle lanes, the slower lanes. And I think the best I have been able to average right now is just shy of 16 miles to the gallon. And that's mainly highway driving, so doing about 70 miles an hour. Yeah, about 65, 70 miles an hour average. Been trying to stay out of the fast lane, which those are like 80 plus here in Cali. So anything to make this truck get just a smidge better gas mileage is worthy in my book. Everything else I think I'll just sell and probably recoup some money, because I did get them for a pretty good steal. So I think there is a little bit of profit margin making this exhaust that I think brand new they're like 1,500 bucks, that much cheaper. So without ado, I'm gonna go ahead and swap this cold air. Alrighty, so with the new cold air, I may have something that's rubbing on the exhaust by the sound of it, but I can take care of that later. Sounds like I am getting a little bit more turbo whistle. Nothing crazy, it's still very subtle. I like how the exhaust is very deep toned, it's not raspy whatsoever, it's not overbearing loud, it's literally almost sounds like a stock. I wouldn't say it sounds like a stock V8, but it sounds like the loudness of like a factory V8 truck. Just that same amount of loudness where you kind of know it's on. Sorry, my dogs are barking. And then my neighbors are also playing music down the street, so hopefully I don't get copyrighted. But yeah, it's just enough. It sounds like just a nice deep throaty little V6 with some turbo spool mixed in there, but nothing too loud. I guess one thing I should actually show you, the inside of the truck. So it is a Lariat. I did just clean it, so super well taken care of truck. It is for the most part fully loaded. I think the only thing I'm missing is the sunroof, which I am kind of glad I did not get, because after browsing some of these F-150 forums, it seems like those are a nightmare to deal with, because I guess the tracks break on them all the time, and next thing you know, your window's just stuck wide open. I kind of wish I did get it, because I mean, it does look nice. I'm not a guy to ride around with it open, but it does look really nice when you have kind of like, you can see the sky right above you. Makes some of those like longer road trips have a little bit better of a view. So I did get this truck for a pretty good deal, what I would say. These trucks are averaging high 20s, low 30s. So this is a 2015 F-150 Lariat, decently loaded, trailer brakes, full tow package. So I do have the bigger rear end and the heavier duty suspension if I ever wanted to tow. I think I can tow up to 12,000 pounds, which is insane for a little 3.5 V6. And it averages decent gas mileage too, about 16 miles to the gallon right now. We'll see how much after with the exhaust. I am planning on taking it to Cars and Coffee about half hour away tomorrow. So I'll probably end up reporting back with how my mileage is doing afterwards. This truck actually ended up picking up for just under 20 grand. So it was a pretty freaking good deal. And then with the My Ford Pass app, I was able to look up the service history on the truck before I bought it, just using the VIN number off the dealership's website. And this thing literally almost religiously went to the dealership. It was just maintenance. At the beginning of every single month, this thing would go and get serviced at my hometown's local Ford dealership. So I'm guessing it was a company truck, something like that, where, you know, the beginning of the month they would, or at the end of the month, they would take the trucks in, they would get serviced, and then, you know, they would probably just spend their entire life on the highway, because either this truck got like rebuilt parts or new parts, or it was just very well taken care of. This thing drives like it's brand spanking new, because this is a little bit higher mileage, which doesn't scare me for the price. I mean, I'm willing to put a motor in it because I got it so cheap. So I was like, cool, an engine's not very expensive, I can swap it out, I'll take it. But I did test drive 2017s with the Gen 2 motor and the 10-speed, 2018s, 2019s. I looked at XLTs. I looked at an older 5.0 Platinum. I think it was a 2013, 2014 5-liter Platinum truck, and then also like a 13 Limited. And they were a lot of them were around the same price. Of course, the newer trucks that had way less miles, they were almost double the price. And to me, the 10-speed, I always heard of the truck guys, they hate the 10-speed because it has like rough shifting, and I actually experienced that because I got to essentially cold start and test drive the trucks. I did notice that the newer trucks, they had a slightly noisier engine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen that the Gen 2 3.5 EcoBoost, I think it's like 2017 and up, they have a little bit more issues with the valve train components, with like the cam phasers and chains. Not saying that the Gen 1 was perfect, but for 15 and 16, this is the revised year for the first gen EcoBoost, and it seems like whatever the issue was with the first gens, the 15 and 16s, they're in that in between. They kind of fixed the issues, and then they came out with a new version after that of the EcoBoost. So it's a 2-year model. It also got the new body style, which has an insane amount of back room. Perfect for my dogs, because I do have a Great Dane. So she can actually, with the seats up, I can actually put her back there and she can lay down and have plenty of space to lay down. I think she was starting to get really tired of the Malibu, where she did not fit whatsoever. She would be like all hunched over and crouched. Anytime I had to take her to the vet. Now I can take her to like Cars and Coffee with me, take her to like local car meets, take her to the park, all that stuff with my other 2 dogs. So far I am thoroughly enjoying this truck. It's awesome. I did have one a little bit of a hiccup. The rear differential did end up exploding on me about 2-3 weeks into owning the truck, and it was down for about a month. So it was a little bit of of an unfortunate circumstance, but I mean, shit happens. It was higher mileage, and I think actually what happened was California has been getting some crazy rains, and then when I drove it, we pretty much drove 14 hours in straight pouring rain. I must have hit some massive puddle or something that it ripped the breather line off on the axle, and then from driving through flooded streets, like getting caught on the highway, like there was like kind of small little flash floods happening. The highway ended up flooding, and I knew I drove through it, and then shortly afterwards, that's when the diff blew. They found water in the differential, so they think it's like, yeah, probably from the force of the water, it ripped that little breather line off and essentially just filled my axle up with water. So gears, they like oil, they don't like water. So I got lucky, full coverage, all that good shit. Insurance paid everything, got me a rental, and then bing, bang, boom, she's fixed. But it's not a cheap fix. I'm actually very glad I did not have to fix it. So I'll actually show you probably what happened. With this truck. It's a beautiful truck. So it does come with the tow mirrors. This is not Oxford white. It's called, I think, platinum white pearl. So it's a very pearl white, pearly color. My old differential, it is an electronic diff, and my dog is going crazy because she wants to play. It's an e-diff, so it has this magnet that essentially locks the two axles together, and it looks like either from the heat or something, but a piece of trash came in, broke this, and then also the entire ring gear was completely destroyed. The truck wouldn't even move because the teeth were just completely destroyed. So something happened. I don't know what happened. My buddy, the guy who owns the shop that fixed the truck, he said that it looks like the bearings got hot, started to lock up, and then essentially broke the lower bolt of the cap that holds the diff in, and then of course the diff was able to move, and then everything broke. Luckily I wasn't going very fast. I was only going like 30 miles an hour. My Doge going crazy. What's up? But again, insurance covered it, so I think it was like $50 out of my pocket. So I don't mind that at all. And then I was able to get a car to use. Well, had to go grab my dog because he somehow fit through the front fence. Big reason why I don't like keeping him in the front. But truck got fixed. It is definitely a great looking truck. It's currently on a 2.5-inch leveling kit, and these are, I think they were like 315, 295 70R18, so it's essentially just shy of a 35. I do want to drop down in tire size just because I don't know, just not my forte. So I'm probably going to be dropping down to a 33 and going from an 18 up to a 20. I do like the look of these with like a 20 by 10. It just needs a little bit better of a stance. So I think that, coupled with the new headlights and the new grille, and eventually I'll find a bumper, I think that will be a wrap for this. So this isn't supposed to be like a race truck or anything. It's just supposed to be kind of like my daily / tow truck. So that when I finally do get to uncover the Mustang, I'll have something to tow it with to the track. Because one thing I did notice is that I was putting a lot of miles on this thing, and they weren't very easy miles. Racing it and driving it multiple hours was not kind to it. But there's the truck. I'm actually gonna go take it for a test drive, wash it, and see how I like it. So I'll catch you guys later. I'll try and make an update video tomorrow when I'm actually driving it on the highway. See if I see any noticeable improvement, driving characteristics and performance. Hopefully we do see a little bit more gas mileage out of it. But with that, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Actually, I'll go ahead and end it with a little bit of driving. There's definitely, I think there might be a small exhaust leak, but I have the rear windows open. Yeah, very nice. Very subtle. Nothing crazy. I like it. Yeah, there's definitely a noticeable exhaust leak somewhere. So, something else for me to look for. I don't know, it sounds like a weird, like I have a frog stuck in the tailpipe. I don't know how to explain it, but let me get on this road and see how she sounds. Get her up to speed a little bit. So this is just, I guess this would be my normal driving. Quarter throttle, 2000 RPM. Actually sounds really nice. RPM. I mean, she scoots. I am noticing maybe like a hair loss. I think I may know what I did wrong. Maybe a hair loss in low end torque, but we'll see. Alright, couldn't just end the video on that, but decided to wash it. There you can kinda in the light see that pearl. So we take them for a quick test drive, see how the parts sound. They actually don't sound half bad. So windows cracked. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna wipe them as soon as I get home, so I live 5 minutes from here. But let's see, a little neutral rev. Not neutral. Yeah, there's definitely a small weird noise coming from the exhaust. I think I may have a leak somewhere. Oh man, it is freezing outside. I think I do have an exhaust leak. But cruising the truck around, it's very quiet, which I did not expect from a Corsa. So again, I'm just driving it like I would normally. See, now that was a V6 Mustang right there. So I'm glad my V6 truck does not sound like a V6 Mustang. But once I get this green light, I'll keep recording and see how she sounds when I actually, get on it a little bit, drive it like a normal human being, and then maybe punch it a little bit. All right. So this is how it would normally drive. Nothing crazy. Very light throttle. Let's see how she sounds if I boost it a little bit. Yeah, I definitely do have a very annoying exhaust leak somewhere that I'm gonna have to look for. So, hope you guys like it. it's the daily. You know, I'm thoroughly enjoying this truck. I'm still not 100% about the exhaust. Let me know what you think, if you like it or not. I do have the windows rolled down. If I have them up, you don't hear nothing. It's dead silent in here. The truck runs super smooth. I don't know what that weird little like chirpy noise is. I'm definitely gonna have to investigate what the heck that noise is. But yeah, I think it sounds good. Sounds decent-ish. Let me know if you like it, if you hate it. Would you get this exhaust? If you know what that annoying chirp is, which is probably an exhaust leak. You know, let me know. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.